Welcome to Flying Solo Podcast. Today I'm thrilled to introduce you to Mina, an extraordinary shoe designer whose work blends sustainable practices with bold and modern aesthetic. In this conversation, we'll explore her creative journey, the inspiration behind her collections, and what it truly takes to build a brand that stands out in today's competitive fashion world. Mina, welcome.
Thank you. So nice to be part of this podcast. Really excited about it.
You been in this industry for quite a bit, so tell us more about your journey.
So my journey started already when I was 15 years old. It was my teenage dream to become a shoe designer, and I'm still on that journey. When I was 19, I studied footwear design at De Montfort University in the UK. And then I got homesick, returned back home, and at the age of 25, I started my own brand carrying my own name, Minna. And I did that for 17 years. I had like a lot of celebrities like Cara Delevingne, Lady Gaga, like 9 of the Jenners and Kardashians, and like so many more celebrities wearing them simultaneously. So it created a nice hype to the previous brand. But somehow I just got really tired of it and I needed a break. So I had 2 years in between these two brands to think about it. And then last year I started my new brand called Minna. I wanted to design shoes differently and also to manufacture shoes differently. In normal shoe manufacturing, there's a lot of unnecessary virgin plastics, toxins, and hard metals that are used in the production. So I wanted to cut as many of those out that are unnecessary. You cannot make 100% sustainable shoes ever, pretty much, because there is always something that needs to keep the shoe together. And to make the shoe lasting and desirable. But I wanted to cut all the rest of it off from the production.
Amazing. And you have quite an interesting journey because it's rare when a person have one brand and then do another brand, but within the same category. Normally designers just get bored of one category and start another. So if they've been in clothing, they start doing accessory or the other way around. But you choose to do a shoe brand again. So, and you did mention that obviously you believe that it was a need for something more sustainable. What's the difference in manufacturing right now? You did say that you go through a different process. Is it a different country where you manufacture, or what's the unique new process that you do?
Yeah, so in between the brands, I really had a good thing that what do I want to be when I grow up? So I was going through like a lot of options, but in the end of the day, I thought that it would be such a waste to throw away all that experience that I have in footwear. That it would be, I have the contacts to do it. I have the manufacturing facilities in Spain to do it. Like all the basics are there. So I wanted to create something that I can take further. So what is different with the manufacturing is that pretty much all the components are made for my brand. Like none of those sustainable components are like already there on the shelf waiting for somebody to buy them. Manufacturing even like slightly more sustainable is extremely hard even still when it comes to fashion, and especially to a product that is so multifaceted as a pair of shoe. Like there could be even 30 different components going into one pair of shoes. So each of those needs to be really thought through. Like, is there something that we can replace this with? Heels are usually plastic. Okay, what do we do? Okay, we go back into the old way of manufacturing, like using wood. Soles, how to get components are as recycled as possible, or natural rubbers, which also means like going back like 50 years pretty much in the shoe manufacturing. So it's kind of like inventing the wheel again.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to what it has been in the past in a way. and then, like said, like a lot of recycled components as possible. But saying that, like you always need to have something to hold the shoe together. For example, you cannot have water-based glue to stick the soles. Otherwise, you would just take a couple of steps on a rainy day outside, and your shoe would be in like pieces already. So it's very important that the manufacturing is good quality, and it makes the shoes durable. So not everything can be replaced, but all the components that can be, we have done a lot of work sourcing all of that.
That is so cool. Actually, when I saw your shoes first time in person, I really thought that all those wood heels are just design choices. I actually did not realize that it was for sustainability first, and then it was aesthetic choice for your brand. But it's really incredible that you think about it this way. So, do you believe that there is that is better for the final consumer to have those pieces sustainable? Obviously, it's better for environment, but do you believe that it's better for the final consumer as well?
There are a lot of people who are very conscious with their choices. People are purchasing less, which is a great thing, buying more second-hand options, recycled things. So it is something that is much needed at the moment, that manufacturing is as like on that same base of recycling, and as well like that you can recycle the shoes and the parts of the shoe later on, once they come to the end of the life. So in that way, it's very important to the can be very important to the end consumer. But of course, there are many people who really couldn't care less what the shoes are made of. Like most of the time, people make their decision with their eyes. Firstly, of course, it needs to be a very desirable product. It needs to be up to date. It needs to have personality. It needs to have a design language. It needs to be on trend in a way, and then after that, the comfort and the wearability, and there comes the importance of the manufacturing as well, that it needs to be done very carefully so that it lasts time. So those things on their own are quite sustainable choices, because you buy something that you will love for a long time and wear for a long time, not just for one season.
That's very very true, and your designs are very interesting. It's very eye grabbing, and I would say it's whimsical. And when you see the Mina shoes, you know that it's something very different that you haven't seen anywhere before. So that's really incredible. So I do believe that your shoes in general grab the attention first, and only then you learn about the sustainability and why you do what you do.
Exactly. It's something that I really learned from my previous brand, that you need, like straight from the beginning, you need to create a language, like design language, that is very recognizable to the customers and to the fans, who will be buying like from season to another the shoes, and who will like and also that the design is very recognizable on celebrities or on the street. So I chose the recognizable part to be this like chain pearl, like kind of like coming from like pearl necklaces, like very classical pearl necklaces, but bringing them into the soles of the shoes made out of natural rubber. And then from there on, I've used like round shapes in general, like for example the round heels, double balled heels on top of each other, and things like that. And it will start to develop its own language and its own own way in the future. With the future collections, it will not just be the pearl chains on the soles. It will, like, maybe the round shape will be the key element of the brand. in the future.
Well, I did think that it did remind me of a pearl, but I really did not realize that that was an actual reference for your soles for the shoes. That it's all the pearl necklaces there. That is incredible. So what? You obviously started very long time ago in this industry, but for the younger designers out there, if one wants to start in the shoe industry, what will be the first step to do so?
Definitely study the industry, definitely to get to understand how shoes are made. It's easy to draw pretty pictures, but will they be able to manufacture those, or will they be comfortable? Like, comfort is such a huge factor to people when it comes to footwear, especially nowadays when people are not accustomed to like using like huge heels anymore. Like, people want something that they can just like throw on and like off they go with their daily tasks. So like, it's like the modern way of thinking, thinking about the comfort of and also the health of the customer, that people will not ruin their feet while wearing those shoes. So that's definitely like the first, like very first starting point. Then understanding the global market, what's happening in your country, what's happening in the big like fashion capitals, what's happening in, I don't know, Korea, Japan, like getting inspired by other brands from all over the world, like getting bits and bobs from different brands and their ways of doing things. Like, okay, this brand has like amazing campaigns, like maybe we could take some inspiration from that, or some like business idea that some other brand has like on another side of the world. Like, it's very important to be open, and if there is a possibility to travel, that's always the best inspiration for fashion.
That's a really good advice. And what about you personally? So when you were starting out, were you taking your own advice? I mean, the advice that you're giving now. Did you try to work in the industry, research, or how? What was your first step?
So I was born and raised in Finland, and I was abroad for 6 years before I returned back home to start my business. So that time was very important. It was very important to get that inspiration from other places, from other countries, and ever since I have traveled a lot. I think partly that's the reason why I have a brand, because I really love traveling and I love the excitement of just like packing a suitcase full of shoes and like going to meet people, going to meet buyers or press or whatever. And it's just such a fun industry to be in. You never know who you're gonna meet or what's gonna happen next. It's a roller coaster ride altogether, in good and in bad.
Yeah, that's for sure. 100% agree with that. So let's talk about your upcoming collection. So you did mention that you're preparing for winter collection. So what is it going to be? What should we expect? If you would like to share.
Oh, a lot of boots going on, a lot of like ankle boots. And like I've moved on to some like also like other shapes of wooden heels, like oval flared wooden heels with like pointed toes and things like that, which I'm very excited about. Because it also makes the brand evolve even further, to have the core, to um have the designs with the pearl necklace kind of details, and next to that to have like other styles, bit more maybe elegant styles. Yeah, and it's, for me it's really important to use color. Color has always been one of the key factors of the collection, even though it's the autumn winter collection is filled with color, a lot of different hues of pink, which is my favorite color, burgundies, browns, a lot of metallics. It's just a lot of fun. People are being quite serious at the moment, so I think like it's like what better way to entertain yourself on a daily basis and entertain other people than dressing up. Um, so I want to be part of that to encourage people to live life and enjoy life and the small things of it.
Awesome. And tell us more about your design process. So when you start designing a new collection, how does it look like? Do you sketch? Do you have picture? What does it look like?
So I'm very old school, so it's kind of pen and paper and me sitting on my living room floor when I design. I need to be in my own space without anybody around. It is a moment of just like letting it all out on the paper. I don't do like amazing sketches. I do just line drawings, which I will send after that. Like once the collection is finalized, I will send them to the manufacturers in Spain where they make all the patterns and prototyping. So it's like drawing is just a vehicle for me, just to get the idea from my head and show it to somebody else who can translate it into a real product. Um, but yeah, but in general, like inspirational wise, like travel, like I said, is like very big a big source of inspiration, just to be in different vibes, like just to feel and see as much culture and whatever happens on those adventures, and then kind of like draw inspiration from there. Big cities, because Helsinki, where I live, is the capital, but it's very very small. Like it's not very happening. So for me, it's very important to go to Tokyo or New York and or Hong Kong and just like feel the city, feel what's happening, see the fashion, and draw inspiration from all of that.
Great. A lot of designers told me that the design process itself takes just very little part of their daily operation, and business
For sure.
is majority of it. So, what about you? What's like? Is design majority of your time, or is it actually
No.
business operations?
No, I think that's the reason why people have their own brands, because like otherwise us designers would have just gone to work for somebody else. If we would have like enjoyed just the design part, that would have been our job. But we have chosen to be entrepreneurs and business owners. So like we do get a thrill out of it, like from all the other aspects of the business. I really love marketing, everything to do with marketing, branding, just just being creative on so many different levels, on the business side, on like how to actually to develop an idea to something desirable, that people actually will purchase. So that's a very inspiring journey as a whole. So yeah, designing is a very very small part of it. I usually design a collection in about like maybe 10 days, and then after that, like once I get the prototypes, then there will be more developing, but the drawing stage is very very short, because
Well, I'm
previously I've made the mistake of like sitting with the collection too long and just overthinking it, and it has ruined the collection. It has become a disaster. Like you just lose track of what is the main message of the collection if you overthink it.
I see. Well, I'm so glad that you're actually sharing that, because I think a lot of designers that are about to start the journey of like, or they're thinking about to start their own business, do not realize how much of other things they actually supposed to be doing compared to design. And I think the misconception here is, well, if I will own my own brand, I'll be designing all the time and I'll be do whatever I want, like all those beautiful designs, and somehow the business will happen after that. But the reality is quite the opposite.
Yeah, unless you get somebody else who will do the rest of it. But as a starting designer, it's very rare that you have the funds to do that, that you would like be able to get some sort of business wizard into the business. So, so you have to learn it yourself. And coming from a design school, we weren't taught about business at all. And I think that's the case in most of the design schools, that business isn't the priority there, which is understandable. So then when you start your own brand, you will need to learn everything through mistake and and success as well. And hopefully there will be more of the success than the mistakes.
100% agree with that. So, in your opinion, given that you also do your own marketing, how important is press for the brand? Do you believe that it just, a side things that just need to happen, or is it one of your primary strategies?
Um, Press is good to have, but of course, like a lot of the things happen in social media. So like the influencers and celebrities and people like that, like influential uh, style makers, taste makers, are the ones to catch. That's where the real success can grow.
That sounds awesome. Very good advice. And would you like to add anything else about your brand or the upcoming collection?
Yeah, so we're dropping the new collection quite soon, like on our site as well. So yeah, well, yeah, have a look on our Instagram so you get like a taster of what's
Yeah.
coming and what's happening in the world of Minna.
Can you tell to all the listeners your website and your Instagram so everybody can check it
Uh,
out?
the website is Minna, Minna.com, and the Instagram is Mina, Minna official.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad that people will be able to check it out. Mina, thank you so much for joining
Thank
today.
you.
I do believe that your story will inspire a lot of people to go into footwear, or maybe not to go into footwear. Maybe they will realize that it's way too complicated for them and
Very
they'll decide to go for
complicated.
something else. But regardless, it's a very valuable advice. And thank you so much for sharing all this knowledge for like decades of your experience.
You're making me feel so old, but thank you.
Well, I think it's the experience. If anyone will ever see your shoes, they will see how many details goes into that and how unusual they are. So it clearly shows that you've been there for quite a bit to,
Thank you. Thanks a
to
lot.
develop all of that.
Great to hear that you show. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you so much, Mina.